I find guys who are bottom, guys who are also versatile, way more interesting than guys who are just strictly top. It's the same thing. I find guys who suck way more interesting than guys who only receive. I find that very vanilla. If all you want is to, you know, receive, sucking, and you just only want to, be top. I find it very vanilla, boring. It's not exciting to me. It's not fun to me. And some people may say, well, it's just not my thing. I don't want to suck. I don't want to be bottom. It's just not fun. Okay, that's fine. But for me, I find that boring, that you only want to receive oral and you only want to be top. It's just, I don't know. I just find it boring. And, it's also, too, I find that guys who are like versatile, when they do become, when they do top, it makes them better top because you know what it's like when something is inside you. So okay, this is going to be too rough, or this is going to be too soft, or this is not, you just know what it feels like. So when you get to be top, you are a little bit more understanding than someone who's never been bottom. But if you've been bottom and then you become, you've been bottom and you do top, whether it's, every so often, or you're more of a top, but occasionally bottom, at least you know what it feels like. You have a better understanding what it's like to be bottom, so that when you do become top, you're going to know, okay, this is not going to be good. This is not a good position. And this is, I find that someone who's never been bottom, they become more of a selfish of certain things, certain positions, certain, things, because they don't know what it's like. They've never been bottom. See, with me, I know what it's like to be bottoms. That makes me a better top because I know what it's like. I started out as completely bottom. Then I switched to versatile. Now I'm completely top. I know what it's like. Oh, I shouldn't say I'm 100% top. I would say more. Actually, I don't get to be bottom too often, because once someone sees they want me to be the top because of the size of my penis. And, I don't get to be bottom too often. I think the last time I was bottom, when was it? Wow, it's been more than 5 years since I've been a bottom. Yes. I would say now I lean more top than bottom, but because I don't get to do it too often. I think even if I did get to do it often, I think I'd still be a little bit more top, but occasionally would want to be bottom. Yeah. And I think I find that way more interesting than someone who's just completely top and they've never been bottom. They have no interest, or they tried it once and it was just not thing they like, and that's okay. It's just I just find it a little bit boring, a little bit vanilla. I need a little je ne sais quoi, a little something something. I need that. I just don't like this whole boring vanilla. Okay, you're gonna be bottom, or you're gonna be top. Like, can we just spice things up and just because you tried something once, okay, it didn't work out. Maybe the person didn't do it the way they're supposed to. Maybe they were a little bit rough. Maybe. But you just don't say, well, I tried being bottom once and it was so painful and I'm not going to try it again. And okay, well, try with a different person. Try more than once. Maybe it was the way that person was doing it and they didn't know what they were doing. Maybe you were just a little way too nervous and it wasn't the time at that time. But you can't, just say, well, bottom is not for me because I tried it once, you know? Okay, if you tried it more than once and it's still still not like, okay, that's fine. It's just, I find it very boring, very vanilla. I need a little something, something, I need a little spice. I need someone who like different, you know? It's the same thing with someone who only receives aura but they don't give. I like someone who also give as well as receive. I do, and I find it way more interesting than someone who's like, okay, I don't suck, I don't bottom, I'm strictly top, and I don't give oral, I receive. I find that boring. It's just, yeah, that's just me. Someone may disagree with me. You may disagree with me. That's fine. I just find it a little vanilla. That's all.